A big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. More about them at the end of the video.
Good morning everybody, welcome back to the Bros of Decay. We just woke up in the middle of the Alpine mountains in Switzerland. With the cowbells in the background, just what you would picture in a movie. It's like, it's a magical place, right? This definitely is. And yeah, I'm taking you on another adventure today. We're going to an abandoned palace, not so far from here. This place should be totally amazing. But first, let's try to wake up. I'm always very difficult with waking up, but in this place it's a little bit easier. I can take a little stroll through the woods here. I'm gonna see if I can get a nice view from the mountainside. What a place. There are benches everywhere to rest and sit on your hikes. This, everybody, is living to me. Have a look over here. This untouchable panoramic view that I have in front of me here. This is beautiful. That's the reason actually why I bought a van to travel the world with and travel Europe with. To sleep in places like this. This is much better than waking up in a hotel room, by a far means. I totally love it. Every single second of it. Wow. And they have this picnic set up here on top of the mountainside. Yesterday night we had picnic on this table. Now it's time to hop into the van and go for another adventure. I'm excited for it, definitely. So these mountain roads here in Switzerland, they are just wide enough for one car. And when you encounter a car, it's sometimes very, very difficult. Somebody has to drive backwards, or you have to do crazy maneuvers to even survey those cars. It's really crazy, but it's also a little bit of a challenge and an adventure driving through these places. I actually like it. See, there's a car coming. Okay, let's see what we can do. Go all the way to this side.
Watch out with your tires.
Okay, and it fits. Okay. And now comes the tightest part of this whole road. It's 2.3 meters wide and my bus is 2.1 meters wide. So I'm pretty curious. Jeroen did it last night, but he's very used to driving these big vehicles and I'm not. So let's see if I can manage.
Oh.
Let's go.
Je hebt ook geluk dat hier de bus weg is.
Okay, this section is the most difficult. So I'm taking it wide through this side, and then go into this side, take it short to the wall, and then go to this side. Yes, that was pretty easy. Jeroen, I don't know what you were talking about last night, but...
Did one. lucky that the fan was gone.
Nee. Wow, that viewpoint is amazing. This is literally a treat, everybody. Imagine living here, waking up to this every single morning. This makes you happy, right? Oh no.
That was easy, right?
That was easy. It seems like a possibility. Let's go a little bit further. This right next to here is the outside wall of the palace, so we have to cross it to get inside of the place. I think it's that one. Yes. We think it's the wall we just saw over there, so let's try to hop over there and see if we can get inside. Okay, there you go, William. Okay, Jeroen. Yes. Okay, take my camera, please. Yes, thank you. And there we go. Let's go down. It's like we are walking through paradise here. Palm trees everywhere, going towards the palace.
A palace is just a home like any other. Countless memories are made inside, love is created, and fights are fought. This was nonetheless true for the extravagant palace of the Italian Giogino family. At the end of the 19th century, the family left their home country Italy behind to pursue business and politics in their neighboring country Switzerland. In doing so, they built a grand palace in Swiss-Italian style and brought their whole family over. At one point, over 40 family members lived inside its walls. One can only imagine the atmosphere that used to transpire inside this place. The family stayed very influential over the course of the century, but eventually its numbers started to dwindle. Times changed and the younger generation moved out and started living on their own. This continued until the early 2000s when the last inhabitant, Mr. Marco, passed away and left everything behind to crumble apart. It has been 16 years now since the Giogino family stepped foot inside their palace. Today we are at its doorstep to take a look inside its forgotten walls.
What a wonderful and peaceful place I'm in right now. I'm gonna start off this episode of the Giogini family here in their backyard. I think it's just a fantastic and peaceful place and a great starter for this documentary. So let's go. This was their private piece of land where they came to rest after a long day of working in the parliament. This was these people's their prized possession. And as you can see, there are palm trees growing all around us, making it for a very southern feeling, a very lush forest. But the bell of the church just literally started ringing now in the background. It's beautiful, but I will wait for a moment until it stops and then we can go further with this backyard. The church bells have finally stopped ringing and now we are ready to go further into this backyard. I just pointed out this little fountain that they had here, but I didn't show it in detail. And here we have this frog statue and a lovely fountain underneath it. Oh, beautiful. Let's now take a stroll towards the palace and show you its surroundings, because it's quite amazing. I have cut down many trees in this backyard. I don't know the reason for that, but yeah. Okay. This is truly a lovely stroll. It's like walking with you all together towards the palace. And here we have the first glimpse of it. You can see a yellow outside. Very typical for Spain and Italy, not so typical for Switzerland. Normally they would work a lot with wood on the outside, but over here they worked a lot with concrete. And here we have another glimpse from the outside, as you can see. Let's go down the stairway. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look at this place. Seems to be a door open down there. There's a little patio where you could sit in the evening, have a glass of wine. The ivy is already protruding through the building, taking it over. Nature always takes back what's hers. Ooh, what do we have here? Lots of graffiti. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let me turn on the light that you can see better. I hate to see graffiti in these places. That's just a terrible sign. Large water reservoir. There's a wonderful drinking fountain. You can see a lion's head has been carved into there. I thought I saw a wine cellar down here. I think I'm right about it. Oh yes, I am. And there are still things in here. Still bottles and jars of food all left here. That's wonderful. Still see a few bottles here, unopened after all these years. This one is from 2003, just before the palace got abandoned. A funnel for something, but I'm not sure. Okay, let's go back up the stairway right now. And there is another outbuilding here to the left of us. That's not... Oh, I almost fell right there. These steps are completely covered by nature, so I have to be a bit careful. But there's this outbuilding that's not connected to the palace itself. And it's also a wonderful piece. And it has a tower on there and everything. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Then I tried to make concrete branches from a tree, sculpted in here, in this hand railing. Wow, what an enormous building. Let's go in there, let's check it out. Of course. Okay, this doesn't seem like much at first. Just a little storage area, but I can see a stairway up there. Let me try to go up this ladder towards the stairway. Let's try to climb this ladder here with the camera in my hand. It's quite difficult. Oh. Okay, we made it. We have a winding staircase going up this tower here in front of us. Okay, let's climb it. Let's see what's up there. Okay, let's go up all the way. Oh, we come onto a little patio here. It's very lush and overgrown. Oh my God. Have a look at the view that we have here in front of us. Hey, Jeroen. Okay, Jeroen also joins me up here. This is just eye-wateringly beautiful with the church here in front of us. We can see the chapel, the palace down here. Everything completely overgrown. What a place, everybody. What a place. Okay, one last look, and let's now head into the palace over there. Okay, everybody, it's now time to take a peek inside of the palace and show you everything it has to behold. All the artifacts and everything that's left behind. And hopefully we can figure out some more history about these people together inside of this place. Of course, the protective gloves to protect myself and the building. One sip of water. And then we are ready to explore. I'm excited for this one, so let's get going. To enter into this place, we have to duck underneath here, underneath this doorway. And then we can enter inside of the building. And actually the first room that we enter into is already a very peculiar room. You wouldn't expect it from a palace like this, but this used to be a child's bedroom with 2 bunk beds for 4 children, of course. I don't know why it was in this style, in this shape, and why did they put it in here. Okay, but nevertheless, it's a nice first room to start with. And that will take us further into the palace. We're gonna explore every single section of this place and show you everything that's left behind in here. It looks like Portuguese tiled wall that they had on here, but these are actually stickers, as you can see. Not real, unfortunately. It also seems that this section of the building has been remodeled later on, after the palace had been around for a long time. Have I told you that this place was built in 1854? 170 years ago? And it still stands until this day. Here we have another child's bed, still made, and an exercise bike. You don't see them like this anymore. The person that exercised on this bike has done 2,615 kilometers in total. He worked pretty good, we must say. But let's now go into the really historical parts of this place, because that's where the most interesting things lay, of course. Okay, and this looks more like it. We already have the first bedroom in front of us. And I'm already truly in love with this one. You can see the Italian influence in this bedroom immediately coming back when looking at the ceiling. Italian places always have these grand ceiling paintings. They put the most time into designing a wonderful ceiling for their palaces and castles. These are the paintings that they put in each and every corner of this ceiling. And in the middle, they had this wonderful glass chandelier. Wow. But unfortunately, the building is deteriorating. Probably not usable anymore and only ripe for demolishment. And that's really sad when I explore these places. This is the sad truth, everybody. These are beautiful places, but unrestorable. And then in the middle of the room, we have these two wonderful beds from the ancient time, true pieces of antique. These are, in fact, not slate beds. They are just very typical Italian antique beds. You see them a lot coming back in the country of Italy, but of course today we are in Switzerland. Still made after all these years. A pillow at the end and a wonderful crown. And then also in the room, a little cabinet to store some things. And here on the ground we can see all the rubble that has fallen down from the ceiling over the years. One last thing in this room is this gold upholstery chair. I really like it. The fluffy things underneath are quite wonderful. What a beautiful piece, everybody. What a beautiful piece. One thing that I'm wondering about when looking through this room is this outlet that's here on the wall. I'm not sure what it was used for. Maybe for a chimney or something like that, but I'm totally not sure. If anybody can point that out to me, that would be wonderful. Let's now stroll further through this place and see what we can behold. Wow, this hallway is quite magnificent. I have to turn on my light a little bit so you can see it better. Every single corner of this hallway again is designed not with crown molding or something like that, but just plain hand paintings that they all put in here. Ooh. Ah, here we are entering into the bathroom of the place. And wow, what a spectacular piece. A freestanding bathtub with paws underneath it. Does it say on here? Oh, it's Italian is written on here. Fredda, cold. And I don't know what hot means in Italian. What a beautiful piece. And this, everybody, used to be the bidet right next to it. But look how huge this thing is. You can completely fill it up with water, I guess, or it was to wash a child or something like that. But oh no, I'm wrong. There is a bidet in this room. So this is a really strange bathtub to me. Yeah, maybe for an older person or for a child. I don't know. If anybody has seen this, again, let everybody know what we are seeing here in front of us. That would be just wonderful. The toilet in the corner of the room, and a little vanity to make themselves beautiful in the morning. And above it, we have these tinted glass windows. I love how they design every single room in a different color, with different artworks on the ceiling. Over here, for example, we have crown molding instead of paintings. And even the towel of these people is still left behind after all these years. From that bedroom, from that bathroom, you walk straight into another bedroom. And this again is also completely designed with a different color. A single bed over here in front of us, probably again for a child. Wow. Unfortunately, vandals have been inside of this place. There used to be a grand mirror here in front of us, but all the pieces of the mirror are just over there on the vanity. That's really sad to me. There's a little doll here on the side of the vanity, but it doesn't want to open up anymore. Luckily, this mirror here in front of us is still in one piece, and I can still look at myself from it. coat hangers and everything still left in here. There's one more doorway behind here. Let's open that one up. Oh, and we're coming into a wonderful bedroom, everybody. Just a beautiful piece. Let me show it to you in full detail. Wow. There's even a bust here to the side. Probably of one of the former owners of this place. Look at him. He looks like more like an Italian man than a Swiss man. And yeah, I'm not sure of the exact origin of this family, but from their surname, you can derive that they're probably Italian. Wonderful boost. And then again, the bed right next to it is also very beautiful. And luckily this one is still made. The curtain is still above it. And the bells just started ringing in the background. Their initials are also inscribed in the bed frame, FB. But that's not the initials because their surname starts with G. Strange. This is a wonderful vanity. I love how every single piece of furniture that's in this room is exactly made for this room. It all has the same initials inscribed in them. It all has the same style. That's just lovely. Let's open this one up. Fortunately, nothing in there anymore. The railing around the window. There's even glass worked into here. Wow, and here we can get a glimpse from the outside of the palace. Look at this. One more glimpse at the ceiling of this room. The crown molding in here is also just fascinating. There's a teeny tiny chandelier hanging from the ceiling there. Wow. Okay, let's go further into the hallway and let's see the other parts of this palace. I love the arch styles that they have in here as well. They're quite magnificent. And as you can see, everything like heating, electricity, and things like that also have been added later on, because when this palace was built in 1854, that of course didn't exist. And everything needed to be added on later. Even these heaters, chauffages, like we call them in French and Dutch, they have this knob on there. I really like how they're operated. But they as well have been added on later to the palace. Okay, let's walk further. Ooh, we can get little glimpses into some bedrooms from these windows that are here in the hallway. That's quite cool, right? Okay, I want to explore these bedrooms now. Sorry that I explore all the bedrooms in the beginning, but we will go to the other parts later on. Okay, wow, this is just such a wonderful bedroom. And definitely 100% Italian from the looks of it. When you explore in Italy, you have to go through my Italian videos. You will see it. You always have two beds with one nightstand in the middle. And these were the rooms where the children would sleep. They at first had a wonderful gold-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling here. I love the faces that have been carved into it. And then right behind it, you have these two beds that are still made. Oh, Acorn light switch. Oh, let me try. I tried to turn it on, but it doesn't work anymore. This is not an Acorn. Also a really cool light switch. Have a look at these beds. Aren't they just adorable? If I was a child, I would love to sleep in them. And then even the vanities, they had 2 vanities in this room with a wardrobe right in the middle. Again, all the furniture in this room is made in exact same style. This beauty doesn't want to open up anymore, very stuck. But again, no clothing in there anymore. Oh, and they could even open up the shutters and look into the lush back garden that we have over here. It's now completely overgrown. I hope you can see something. But over here, you look into the back garden of the house. There should also be another room behind here. Let's take away this chair. And let's open this door up. And that reveals yet another room. Oh, and this one is a little bit less fancy. It's also a child's bedroom, but yeah, I don't know why they made a difference between the two. Okay. Again, another chandelier in here. Some chandeliers seem very grand and very beautiful, but other ones are just very plain. And this is again the same wardrobe as we saw in the other room. And I first thought that there was a mirror here, but it's actually just a hole in the door that leads back into the hallway where we just came from. Okay, that's very strange, but I suppose again this is quite vandalism. Somebody tried to get into this room and destroyed this door for it. That's not how you explore. I really wish that people would explore with more respect, and just there are some non-written rules when exploring abandoned places, like don't spray graffiti, never break a place to get inside, stuff like that, never displace things. Instead, yeah, more people should guide those rules, and yeah, that's why we protect these places and keep them as secret as possible. And I hope you appreciate that. So let's go further. Placed everything nicely back how it belongs, and let's now go further into the hallway and see the remainder of this palace. Wow. And we're coming here into a beautifully designed hallway. As you can see, typical Italian, but again in Switzerland. The rope right next to the stairway hanging here. I just adore it. Big flush at the end. What a beauty to behold. But first, let's explore the upstairs of this place. Okay, we have a little hall tree here in this upstairs part. Wow. Here the people could hang up their coat, put their umbrellas down there. Again, also wonderfully designed at the top. Oh, and here we have the bell, the doorbell of the house. Okay, let's go into this room right now. And the first thing I see is this wonderful tiled stove here in front of us. It has this flower design on it. It's quite unique. This must be one of the most beautiful ones that I've seen so far. Oh, what a beauty, everybody. What a beauty to behold. We're standing here. I don't know, I think a little sitting area that we just entered into. Funny thing about it is there's still a bottle of wine, the same one as we saw on the basement from 2003, left here on the table. Okay, yeah, just this little sitting area. Beautiful sofa there in the corner, an upholstered sofa, as you can see.
And then this radiator here to the side of it. Also a little cabinet in the corner of the room. Okay. An empty room right here. Just an ordinary bed in the corner. And then we enter right into another bedroom. This looks like a heaven bed that we have here in front of us, but it's actually not. It's just 4 pillars standing there. These lions at the front of it. They're quite nice to my opinion. Okay. Some broken glass again of the vandals. This gets me every single time when I see it. Let's open this one up. Oh, and here we come into another wonderful bedroom. A single bed, so one person used to sleep in this room. Again, all the furniture that's in this room just matches each other. That just gives this room character. And that lets you also know that these people were people of money, people of power. A wonderful bed here in front of us. Again, still made. The nightstand right next to it. But what's most interesting in this room is the desk that's worked into the wall here. You can see a very long desk, specially made for this room. 2 drawers at the front, and 1 chair over here where you could work at. I can see the former owner still working here in this bedroom. Literature books at the end of it. And then we have a vanity as well in this room. And a wonderful wardrobe that matches everything. But just this one is out of place here. I don't know why they put it in this room. It's so unfortunate. It ruins the experience, to my opinion. It just doesn't match anything in this room. Stupid. And then from the hallway we have another section here to the left of us that leads us into another part of the palace. The first room that we open, let's see. Oh, this was a shower area. Okay, very small shower area. But you can also see a stairway that leads up. Okay. Okay, I want to venture up at first before we go downstairs. We come into an whole other section of the palace over here. A bench to the side of us where you could store some things inside. Wow, this is the attic of the place. No way. And over here we have even more bedrooms. How many people must have lived in this place? It must have been insane. Lots of books here. And again, this is the magazine from 1924, developed by a French company that I have filmed the castle of. I will link an annotation up here. The people that designed and distributed this magazine, I have filmed their castle. A wonderful magazine, let me show you. That's just a news article / information / advertisement of that time period. Lots of bound books in here. This one doesn't open up anymore, but look at the little library that they had behind here. These books that lay in here are pretty ancient, probably hundreds of years old. And then down here, you see there's a lot coming back in these places. They collect rolls of wallpaper and they just store it, maybe to see if they ever want to remodel a room of a palace like this. Then they have samples of wallpaper that they might use for that room. Okay, everybody.
over here, it's just an empty part. At the end, we have the first section of true attic. Look at the device standing here. Don't know what it was used for, probably some sort of a coat hanger. A bird cage as well, here on the floor. And somebody also used to sleep to this side of the room. And these look like more like, yeah, servants' areas. These bedrooms look so bland and not much inspiration has gone into this bedroom. So I suppose that servants used to sleep up here to help out the family with their duties. That's why we probably have rooms up on the attic. More chests and stuff like that. Huh. Here they even stored some nightstands that they had too many of and didn't fit in the palace anymore. Wow, what a place. But much more there's not to see on this attic. And I'm not gonna stand too long on this floor because it's quite wobbly. Okay, let's go further. Oh, oh my God. Oh, that hurt. Oh, I just hit my head on the beam up there. Oh, that was painful. Okay, let me have a moment, please. Okay everybody, the moment has arrived. We're gonna go down this wonderful stairway and check out the remainder of the palace. I'm quite excited for it. And also to walk down this beauty. Let's do it. Let's go. First off, we have the rope hanging here from the side. It sort of acts like a hand railing. I was looking, is this? No, this is not real marble. This is just a painting that I put onto there. Wow. And we can definitely see that the people that lived here were also quite religious. From the statue that's here in the middle of the hallway. A wonderful piece, but his head has fallen off, unfortunately. This is just straight out of a movie. And then we have another one of those ropes to this side that leads us into the grand hallway of the place. Welcome everybody. Welcome. We just first turn around and show you this side. They even had a red carpet running up the stairway to the top floor. But what also piques my interest is this lovely piano here in the corner of the room. Does it still function? No, it doesn't play anymore. Oh, just a little bit. Wow. What a piece to behold. And everywhere again, the ceiling paintings are coming back. I'm a little bit interested in these doorways. Let's see where they lead to. Oh, they lead to the outside. Okay, the door is just open over there. Aha, interesting. Oh, I was in this section and I checked this door actually, but I didn't check this door. And this door just leads into the palace. Oh, I'm pretty dumb. Okay, I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. Wow, and then we also have this door to this side that leads to nowhere. Just the lovely built-in cabinet where I stored some things inside. Okay. Now we have the other side of the hallway. Wow, this telephone here to the left of us. Look at this piece, how it's built. This is probably 19th century telephone. Even have the bells here to the side. I don't know where all the knobs were for.
Maybe they were just used to call somebody back then. It's completely covered. Wow. I just adore this piece. And you even have this little winder here to the side, probably to wind it up, to start your telephone call. And then here on the wall, we have a little inscription. Okay, I'm gonna take out my telephone. Let me translate it for you. So I just did a translation of it and it reads out, live today because there might not be a tomorrow. That's a really beautiful phrase. It's completely written in Italian. Like we thought from the style of this building, the people were more Italian than Swiss that lived here. And I actually live by this phrase every single day. And I think all of you should do it as well. What a wonderful piece. I'm gonna keep this in mind while exploring this place. Let's go further now. Just one more look at it for everybody. And the Italians, of course, can fully read it. And then the remainder of the hallway. Just a few sitting benches over there. The window is wide open. At this wonderful chandelier as well in this hallway. And the rumbling that you probably hear on the back is thunderstorm that's coming closer and closer while I'm exploring this place. It's actually quite daunting. Over here we can see the ivy growing inside of the place. And again, more wonderful ceiling paintings surrounding this hallway. This used to be a wall clock, but the clock face is completely taken out, unfortunately. Oh, I adore this little blue chandelier that we have over here in this room. Isn't that just a magnificent piece? And then some crown molding above it. Again, we entered into a little sitting area where the people could rest and sit and relax in the evening. Some wonderful antique chairs around the little coffee table. I also have to have a look at the tinted glass windows that we have over here. Wow. And then we enter into another room. And this one is quite unique. And that's because of the ceiling again. Wow. They have some birds painted into here. Fruits and droves, grapes, peaches, everything is worked into here. These are the fruits that they harvest around the fields that surround this palace. Even a plant from 16 years ago is still here. Fortunately, nothing in the drawers anymore. But this must have been also a wonderful room to sit in. We have this marble fireplace here in the corner of the room. Beautiful red marble. And then this colorful tile in there. Oh, and I love this radiator that we have next to it as well. It has this little section. I'm always not 100% sure what people used to put in here. But they put something in here to keep warm. Maybe a bed heater or something like that. Of course, doesn't get hot enough to cook water. Because what runs to here is just warm water. And you can't cook water on water. That's not a thing. Another upholstery chair here on the corner. Oh, these books that lay here. 1877 to 1917. Take out one of these, show you what's in here. It's again an Italian book, probably an encyclopedia of some sort. Industry, agricultural industry, it says on there.
And these carvings above here are also very wonderful. One more look at these ceiling paintings. Oh, in this one we have a fish worked into it. And these tinted glass windows are even more beautiful than the other ones. Yes, and then from this wonderful hallway we will go to this last section of the palace. Unfortunately, it's already the last, but not the least. So let's go through there. First off, we have these wonderful windows here to the right that let light flood into the building. And they would lead out to a patio in front back in the day, but now it's all been completely overgrown. And in the middle of this hallway, we have this wonderful chandelier hanging. Wow. And again, everything in this hallway is hand painted and designed in a very particular way. I love it. Okay, and then we end up in this room, a very empty room with a very low ceiling as well. Not very interesting. That leads us into a little bureau. Okay, where the owner of the place might have conducted some work. He of course was very influential, so lots of paperwork needed to be done. Chandelier hanging here again in the middle of the room, looking over this bureau. Some magazines left here. Gardenia, that's just gardening, and it's from the year 2000, it says on there. It's just a book, a magazine completely dedicated to gardening. Oh, excuse me. Lots of advertisements in here as well, but they are all related to gardening. More books over here. The nature and science books, and also politician books, politics, universal books. Wow. Just wonderful. Ooh. And then we go further down a little stairway that leads us into a beautiful room in front of us. Oh, this was the grand room of the place. Oh my God. I just love it, how it's designed. I want to explore more in the country of Italy and just their beautiful ceiling paintings, chandeliers, and their taste for design is just unmatched in the abandoned world. Only in Italy, and now for this time in Switzerland, we can see something like this. You have to tell me, this chandelier is just meticulous. Oh, I can stare at it for hours and hours on end. You go a little bit closer. Wow. And I'm just wondering what this room was used for. But it's supposedly just a sitting area. Maybe there used to be a big dining table here in the middle where people could have dinner at. It seems like a grand dining area to me. Wow. These upholstery chairs here in front of the fireplace. The little poof in front of it. Beautiful upholstery on there. Designed into detail. Then we have the grand mirror. You can see the chandelier also inside. And underneath, a wonderful fireplace. Wow. The wallpaper is unfortunately already peeling off. It's letting loose. The building is deteriorating and falling apart. And this is the big brother of the other chairs in front of the fireplace. Wow. Another sofa right next to it. I love this one as well. What a beauty, everybody. And that leads us into the last room of the place. That's again a little sitting area, as you can see. But not the least. Not the least at all. They have this corner bench that's actually pretty German. You don't see this very often in Italy or Switzerland or France even. It's a very German thing, but now we see it over here. Completely worked into the wall with carvings all above it. It looks more like a children's room, I must say, from all the paintings or slash carvings that we have here in the walls. Some children playing outside, and you can feel the relief in this carving. It's quite nice. Maybe this was the room where the children would hang out when the big adults had dinner in the room next to it. One last overview for you all.
Before I end off this week's video, I want to thank the sponsor Squarespace. Squarespace is a powerful online platform on which you can build your own website. But that's not the only thing that Squarespace can do for you. On your own website, you can also create a community because people can reply, like, and share the posts that you make on there. And those posts you can categorize, schedule, and even share to other social media platforms. I know that a lot of my viewers also have a lot of passions, and some of them even might consider starting their own store. But Squarespace already has a great e-commerce capability. And on top of that, you can also put extensions on your Squarespace website to help you manage inventory, do your sales taxes, and even help you ship items around the world. And there are many more extensions to that. And there's one more great thing that I want to talk about, and that's the membership capability of Squarespace. Yeah, you can start your own gated community on your website where you can generate revenue through, you can manage these people, send them notifications, and many more things. And it's very easy to use. So what do you have to do? Just go to squarespace.com to start your free trial. And when you're ready to launch your website, go to squarespace.com/brosofdk to get 10% off your first domain or website. I want to thank Squarespace one more time for sponsoring this week's video, and let's end it off now.
And over here on this lovely corner bench, I'm gonna thank you all for watching this video. What a wonderful place. This was actually my last location that I explored in Switzerland, but I will be back. This country has surprised me. I thought that there wouldn't be any abandoned buildings here because it's such a sophisticated and rich country, but still, we managed to find some amazing places. If you enjoyed this episode, definitely leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. It's free and it notifies you every single week of a new episode that we release, and write me a nice comment in the comment section. And if you can spare a little coin or a little bit of money for me, exploring is just my hobby. There's a link in the description for Patreon. There you can support the channel and help us out going around the world and exploring these, truly amazing places. I thank you all by that, and I will see you next week in another epic adventure. Bye bye, I love you very much.